Welcome to the Breadbox TTRPG review of Hideous Daylight. Written by Brad Kerr for Old School Essentials, this module for low-level parties centers on a mini hexcrawl through a walled royal hunting ground beset by an unending, or dare I say, hideous, daylight. At the behest of Duke Omer, the party will need to venture into this uncanny compound and brave truly harrowing and bizarre challenges across many keyed locations and 2 dungeons. Hideous Daylight delivers a very creative and unique self-contained sandbox. The greatest creative accomplishment of this module is its simultaneous uniqueness that borders on gonzo and its orthodoxy within firm old-school conventions. These qualities are in cooperation, never competition, and it always adheres to a coherent internal logic. Chivalric knights and clandestine trysts with the infernal sit beside unfathomable beings spawned from a warp in reality, and garden tools of legendary might. The book frames this all within a tidy hexcrawl with its own outpost settlement complete with every service an adventuring party would need between expeditions into the profane. It is fundamentally meat and potatoes in its old-school execution, and thereby earns its desserts that are nestled away in its adventuring locations as schizophrenic pearls of reward for the truly curious adventurer. A trope that I use in almost every adventuring site that I design is the single wandering monster that is leagues beyond what the party is capable of handling. Within the walls of Hollyhock Garden, an enormous rat stalks the party. The module does an excellent job of keeping this ironic case of cat and mouse front and center, forcing a profound sense of economy around game time that old school games rely upon. It is violent, distressing, bizarre, and darkly comic. Your friends will know Scampers the Rat, whether they wish to or not. The book walks a line between the formatting of a mainline old-school essentials adventure and something with a more organic and less stiff hand. It benefits from the same extreme snappiness while excelling in the way it guides the reader's eye. Where the book stumbles is in its overly minimalist style, which generally comes across as a bit cheaper and wayfish looking than the work of Gavin Norman. This is further compounded by art that fails to live up to the expectations set by its cover. Where its cover gives the energy of a sharp music zine, the art within its pages evoke a scholastic book fair. This is most true of its hex map, which, while extraordinarily functional, does nothing to stoke a game master's imagination and is outright ugly. That being said, functional is the operative word here, and one that can forgive all of these aesthetic compromises. Hideous Daylight is a module about the dense setting and delicately written mystery at its heart. For an author to prioritize the real meat of a module like this over adequately pretty art will never be something that I entirely fault one for. Tremendous credit should be given to Kerr for including a small but greatly appreciated feature into his location descriptions. An emboldened sentence to read aloud to the players. This practice is among the most game master friendly I encounter in books, and it's a simple addition that makes a profound impact at my table in sheer usability. I strongly recommend it to any authors listening in. In total, the book is concise and effective in the time that it has you. Within its 30 pages, it delivers the previously mentioned hexcrawl and 2 dungeons, as well as generous creature stat blocks, exciting magic items, an effective conspiracy under its sunny surface, and seeds for potential continuation. Hideous Daylight is like a neatly wrapped gift for any game master wishing to plop a module down on their map as part of a rich world filled with many eclectic adventuring sights and sounds. Hollyhock Garden is perfectly self-contained, and the expanding implications brought to the table by its local lord Duke Omer are thin enough to empower game masters to generate richer lore to their worlds, without being bound by a set of rigid facts that Kerr brought up for them. It is exactly the kind of background information that, when bounced off of another module or two, your own ideas about your game world, and the absolute chaos of player-world interaction, will create a rich tapestry of a living and breathing world in record time. My platonic ideal of a so-called campaign module would not be a glue-bound giga-normie WotC tome, but a shelf full of zine-sized modules like what Brad Kerr has produced here with Hideous Daylight. Hideous Daylight is my favorite example to use for illustrating the difference between a sandbox and an open world. Hollyhock Garden is not a massive expanse for your party to spend weeks navigating from side to side. it is antithetical to the much-memed Skyrim condition of a mile wide but an inch deep. It's a tight, contained space with something far more vast than what your usual so-called open world has to offer. It is completely non-linear, packed with buttons to press, consequences to incur, and threads to follow. This is the heart of the true sandbox. This is what it means for a game master to be a referee. This is the radical shift in your game when you decide that that weird shack in the woods where the groundskeeper kept his trusty shovel is there regardless of if the game has hit a momentary lull or if it doesn't suit the story you want to tell. Running modules like Hideous Daylight will make you an objectively better game master, or perhaps more accurately, a better referee. I love Hideous Daylight. I've run it twice, and in both cases, the mystery at its heart set players' imaginations ablaze. The atavistic clue at the center of this module, the ceaseless sunshine robbing the party of any sense of time or shade in which to hide from Hollyhock's uncanny terrors, presents such an elegant call to action, such a compelling clue to a deeper mystery, and an oppressive obstacle in its own right that it frustrates me in its simplicity that I did not come up with it on my own. Buy Hideous Daylight on DriveThruRPG now. It's $10 for a softcover and is worth every penny. Throw it into your Sandbox campaign and coast for weeks on this lightweight book that is betrayed by its sheer density of shots in the arm it will provide your game. Or place it into your open world campaign and let Brad Kerr teach you how to get good. And God bless you.
Breadbox Tabletop Role-Playing Games. Like, subscribe, bell icon for notifications. Go in peace.